Hello viewers, and welcome to a special Spookytober update. Sit down, wipe the cobwebs from your eyes, treat yourself to a juicy jellied frog eye, and prepare for a painting tale that will rot and disturb your senses. Cheers for the introduction, Esmeralda. Quick Spookytober update here, folks, because this morning and yesterday evening I did some more work on Esmeralda, as you can see. Now, the only thing of her that's nearly finished, really, is the skin. You can probably see the robes, which are next things I've really been working on. They've just had a bit of a homemade wash, which is what I want to talk to today. I had some of this wash left over on their hair, which I just popped on to see the effect. That's almost certainly not going to be how it looks finally. And you can see the top of her wand there, where I did do some blending using my airbrush. But I want to talk to you about the skin today, because at the moment, really trying to experiment, finding ways of getting good effects with sort of minimal effort. The keep myself sane strategy, really, because I just don't have the time to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing subtle glazes and things. I want to get painting done quite quickly, but I want it to look good. So, what I was been doing with Esmeralda was experimenting with creating my own washes and glazes. Mostly because I love the GW washes, but they're quite limited in terms of the colours you wanted. I wanted a sort of purple over her skin that I just could not find from the GW wash collection, so I made my own. This is what I did. As you might have seen, Esmeralda had an undercoat of grey, well, a primer of grey, and then over the top of that, she had some zenith lighting just with my airbrush and some sort of porcelain white just directly over the top. Then over the skin I applied a thin Rakarth flesh. When that dried, I made my own wash using mostly Nagath Night, mixed with a bit of scorched brown, and then the whole thing watered down, except not watered down, but thinned down with Larmian Medium, which is a paint I've had for a long time now, because I really like the sound of it, but I've never really got around to using it. And it's basically the part of your citadel paints that's not your pigment. So it changes the consistency in a different way from water to water, thins down your paints, but it also changes the surface tension of your paints, meaning that it tends to go runny, it's hard to stick. Now, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not good. Generally, it tends to be a bit smeary if you're trying to use it for a wash or a glaze. Now, what I found through using this Larmian medium is it's not really so much of a wash medium, because there's a very specific viscosity of the GW washes, which is why they work so well, better than inks, why they do go into crevices, why guys like Frank here look as cool and distinctive as they do, really. But I wanted something a bit subtler with Esmeralda, and I got it. It sort of worked in between a wash, where it shades the crevices, and a glaze, where it shades the whole model. And it sort of gave me that sort of purple tone all over. You can just see between her, well, about at her elbow there. So once I'd done that, I started highlighting back up, using Rakarth flesh at first, then some lovely and very appropriate Pallid Witch flesh. Once I got that up, there was a bit too much contrast there. So then I made the same wash again. I think it was Nagath Night and a little bit of scorched brown. But this time it was very thin. It was definitely much more of a glaze consistency than a wash or anything like that. And glazed over a couple of times. And the outcome is something that I'm actually very happy with. It's sort of grim. It's necrotic. It's probably a bit too necrotic to be a purely just sort of dark elf thing. There's an element of undeath there, isn't there, folks? It does not look like healthy skin one way or another. But I am happy with it. It looks maybe a teeny bit over the top right now, but I think once we've got her lovely gold bra sorted, we've highlighted up the robes, once we've got everything else done, and once I've decided what on earth I'm doing with the hair, I think it's going to look pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm really chuffed with this skin so much. I'm noticing more and more, actually, more and more people using things like the washes, the glazes, to get effects which are different from sort of traditional uses of washes and glazes, but working really, really well. So I think that's a new way we're going as hobbyists. Certainly for hobbyists that want good-looking minis but don't have the time, or in my case, certainly the expertise to do proper sort of heavy metal paint jobs. Yeah, so this is Spookytober. Hope you're all well. Hope you're enjoying my other more sort of rambly videos, or equally rambly videos. See you all soon, at which point hopefully we'll have things like the hair and the robe sorted. Love you all, bye!